YouTube, welcome back to my channel. I'm gonna try and make this quick, and y'all know when I say that I usually feel like a pastor in church. I won't be before you long, and then it's a 3-hour sermon. We're not gonna be here 3 hours. I'm shooting for like 20 minutes, but let's get into it. What we're gonna talk about today is how I'm really feeling about these Notoriously Morbid palettes, specifically the last 3 that I purchased. I ordered 2, and then I ordered Bog Witch second. First, we're gonna talk about, y'all know, beans and booty. Excuse me. Someone called this butt crack Mothman palette. Every time I think of that, I laugh. This is what it looks like. Everything in here is dual chrome and multi-chrome, except this one and this one are mattes, and neither one of them look flattering on my complexion. But what I think I'm gonna do, what I need to do, is just either lay this down, maybe put this on top of it, put this down, put this on top of it, or even layer it with something else, because these two, I can't stand how they look on their own on my complexion at all. But this palette excites me because they're dual chrome, multi-chrome. I don't know what it's going to look like when I put it on my lid. I do have a printout of what, you know, they're described as in the shifts, but I don't swatch stuff before I put it on. So it's just like, what is this look going to look like? And can we make it work if it starts to look a little busted? We do usually make it work. So this, I get tongue-tied because I really freaking love this palette. This is another easy one, y'all. This is what you get. You get Bog Witch, Swamp Water. I've only done 2 looks so far. But y'all, I'm excited because this is the Swamp Water. This is the Messy Grunge. And I'm sure I could do ethereal, use this shade and these 3, or use these 3. Where's the fun in that though? But what I plan to do is put this on the lid by itself and over a base to see what it looks like. I definitely want to put this on the lid. This is hella bright. It's beautiful. This one as well is very beautiful. This is a bright shade. So I do want to put, you know, these by themselves on the lid. The back of the palette, it shows you which shadows has a shift. This one here, this one, this one. I didn't notice a shift, and I'm gonna tell you why I think I didn't notice a shift. Because I put like 3 or 4 shades on the lid. When you're dealing with multi-chromes or dual chromes, it's best just to put 1, 2 at the most. So that way when you turn your eye, like even with this look, you see how you see a tan here, but then when you turn, that tan seems to travel. It's a dual chrome. You know what I'm saying? And even looking here, you see how you see the shifts. And I have 1, 2, 4. 4 shades on the lid. But anyway, so it's best to put 1 or 2 so that when you turn the way the light hits it, you will see the shift. And so I think that's why I didn't see the shifts in those shades. But we're going to continue. This is all the way Swamp Water. To me, this is Notoriously Morbid's equivalent to Natasha Denona's Yucca palette, or Yucca palette, however you pronounce it, because this is all the way swampy. This is all the way swampy. And if I can grab it real quick, oh, it's right here in the front. Even looking at the covers, you see Swamp Water. Like, just look at the tones, the different tones of yellows and greens, and even though you have black on the sticker here, you have black in her lettering here. So even just looking at these, you know. And Natasha's good for what the outside of the palette looks like. That's what the inside of the palette looks like. And so we're going to hold these up. They're not the same. I'm not saying that. I'm saying the vibe. You're going to get Swamp Water. You're going to get lighter tones, lighter Swamp Water with Natasha because she has a lot of brighter shades. Keep in mind, Bog Witch is 9 shades. The Yucca palette is 15 shades. This one right here, this blue, that's not original to the palette. The shadow that was there did not really show up. It showed up on me, but it wasn't flattering. It was one of the lighter tan shades. But when you look at this, you're going to get the same vibe. So these are not dupes at all. But man, whew. I'm not going to say more about the Natasha one because I have a video talking about that. So, because I was about to go off one another random tangent, but rant or tangent. Slow down, troll. But this, I am hella excited about this palette. And I normally don't go for monochromatic palettes, but this is not just strictly monochromatic because you got these three are deep. These are rich. And these three are lighter. This is bright. That's bright. This is like bright and bold. I'm excited. So how am I feeling about the other two? I realized today some kind of haunted. I spoke about how this shade 3 Knox is messy, but it's not messy. Every time I open this, I wipe this off. And every time I close it back up, store it, take it back out, this is right here. But it's not in the palette. Like some palettes, if you have a shade that will flake off, it'll be flakes throughout the whole palette. This one stays put and it only goes here, but it's still very annoying because when I go to turn it, see, I'm just looking now so I don't like touch it. When I go to turn it back, I have to make sure that, you know, I don't get it on my hands. And so I'm constantly wiping this off, but it ends up right back there. And I take back what I just said because I see some of this shade in here. If you can see that dark spot there, there's like 3 or 4 specks from this shadow in here. And okay, I'm going to be honest because that's what we do here. Us trolls don't lie. The packaging for this one and for the Poltergeist, it is extremely basic, but you know what? Give me basic palettes and give me good shadows. And I do really like, let me wipe this off because this is going to get on my nerves. And I stuck my finger in the shadow, trying to work around not touching this one. Their formula is solid. I will say with this palette, some of these shadows are very soft too. When I swatched them, they fell apart. Watched the video, I did a live stream and I swatched them and I sponge applicator and it just fell apart. I was just like, what the hell? And so I did replace those with MAC shadows. And so 3 of these are MAC shadows. This one and this one. This one was a topper shade and it did not even show up on my complexion. So I took that out. This is a MAC shade. This one, I am close to just digging this out and finding something to put in here. Maybe go to the MAC store and get a black, even though I have quite a few blacks, but just something that'll deepen up stuff in here. But this shadow is really getting on my damn nerves. And when I swatched it next to Blitz Crimson, whatever, from Sunlit Seduction, they look exactly the same. So I'm like, if I just want that shade, if I just want to use that shade, I can use this one because this one isn't even messy. But this, it's a deterrent for me to want to use it because it just flakes. And then even when it gets on here, the reason I'm tacky, well, the reason I did this, which I know it looks tacky, the shade names are on the back. And when I'm doing videos, I want to be able to say, oh, this is this shade without being like, okay, wait a minute. So that's why I put a label here. So it's easier for me just to see what the shadow names are. The packaging is hella basic. If you want luxurious stuff, luxurious looking packaging, you ain't going to get it with this palette. But the formula is nice, except some of the shadows are super soft. Not soft where they crumble like the other two did, but soft where if you swipe like you do with a regular shadow, it's going to flake off. Not flake off, but it's powder's going to come up, which is not an issue because now I know. The one thing I am excited about the palette still. This one just annoys the hell out of me. So I really feel like it's just a matter of time before I take this out. I am excited about the palette. I love the color story, even though this one and this one are not original. I tried to get as close as I could. This one is a lot deeper than the shadow that was here, but I didn't have anything that was closer to it. I am excited about the color story. There are a couple multi-chrome, well, dual chromes or multi-chromes in here, but for the most part, what you see is what you get. This is very vibrant. You know, why am I thinking it looks like something from Bog Witch, which I know that it's not, and it really isn't. The one in Bog Witch is more yellow. And so you see what I'm saying. But when I first glanced at it, I'm like, and you know why I thought that? Number one, because my eyes deceive me, but This is really bright and it's beautiful. This is a really bright shade. Like, it is super bright. And so that's what made me think of the Bog Witch one, which is not the same color at all. So just ignore whatever was going on in my brain in that moment. But I love the color story. It does excite me. What doesn't excite me is that depending on what I place some of them next to, this looks like it's a dual chrome, and so does this one. If I place these next to each other, they kind of blend in together. And it was kind of a bummer that I took this one out and this one out because they fell apart. I swiped it and the shadow just, check out that live. It was like, to me, I was just like, and I swiped it this way and it just fell out. And I was just like, what the frick? So it does excite me. I do see more looks with this palette. I just wish that the pat pan fit in here because I would just swap it out. These are not magnetic, and so I did dig them out, and that's why you see these marks right here, and you see a mark right here, and you see a mark right here and right here. That's for me digging it out. They are glued in. But I'm like, you know what, the packaging is cheap, so I was like, whatevs, you know, if I destroyed it inside of it too. But I am really excited about this palette. If you want to be monochromatic, you got these right here, and this one, you can even just do these two. Even though this is an original, you can pop this on, use this, use that one. So there are looks in here. Use this with this one and that one. So there are like several looks, like just glancing at it. Easy 2 shadow look if you just want a metallic look, this shade and this shade. So there are like quite a few things that I see with this, and I am excited to keep using it. This just annoys the hell out of me, and I have to be careful swiping my brushes in the shadows. As I said, they don't crumble like the other two did, but it will move. And so it's putting it back and patting it back in. So that's this palette. This is some kind of haunted. I don't see a lot of videos, only maybe a couple with this palette. And I get it. You look at it and it's like, what the fuck is that sticker doing over there? If y'all been here, y'all know I curse. So forgive me if you're new and you didn't know that. And on the back, it does show you which shadows has the shifts. And so that's helpful in this one. This, I put a label. This is the MAC shadow. That's the MAC shadow. And that's the MAC shadow. I thought you can pop it out because there's a hole. And I remember when I first opened it, I can feel a hole in the middle. But, so I was trying to just like push it out because I thought maybe it is magnetic, but it's not. So I dug the hole, but you know, didn't work. But I like how they show you what the shifts are supposed to be. I didn't see a lot of the shifts because, again, I put like 3 or 4 shades on the lid. So I need to just roll back around and just do like 3 shadows on the lid. But y'all know I be doing the most. You know what I'm saying? But I am excited about this. Just not as excited as Mothman and Bog Witch. Let's talk about Poltergeist. This package, this palette, listen. How many shades are in here? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. There's 12 shades in here. And then some kind of haunted. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. There's 12 shades in here. There's 12 shades in here. Why the hell? Well, what? Why? It's the same number of shades. You know why? I'm going to tell you why. And it will make sense to you, I promise you. Now look at this. I cleaned it off in between and it's back again. These pins in here are a lot larger. You see that? And my theory, but it's going to make sense, I promise you, because sometimes I say stuff and I don't even know if it makes sense. I believe they did them larger so you can see the imprints and the embossments and all that in the palettes, which I think is genius. I did the same thing, put a label here with the shadows. It is on the back and it tells you who they are and all of that and what they look like in the pan. On the website, they list what the shadows represent, but there's only 11. They left out one of the shadows and I forget which one, but I gotta lean back to show you this. This thing is huge, it's like bigger than my head. I am excited about this too, but what I found that disappointed me, let me tilt this. What I found that disappointed me is next to each other, this one and this one both show up gray. And I keep thinking this one is going to show up deeper because it has the red in it. and it has black in more strategic places, whereas once I swiped all of this, I knew it was going to be a gray. But this one I keep expecting it to be more black, but this one and this one look very similar on the lid. And this, if next to here, it will blend in with this and it will blend in with that, even though I keep thinking this is going to be like more whitish or pink because it has the red and the black in it, but no. So that's what disappointed me is this and this. They look almost the same on my lid. And I thought this was going to be more blue. I don't remember if it was this one or this one. I want to say this one. One of these two. These two show up the same on my lid. Even swirling the brush, putting it on, swirling it, putting it on, they look the same. And so part of me is like, how many gray tones do I need in one palette? Some people complained, you know, I'm not buying this palette, it's gimmicky, you know, you're going to wear off, blah, blah, blah. And when I did the swatches in that same live video, I did intentionally swirl because I'm going to swirl them anyway. Some people, they did do the blue and then the white and then the red. I swirled everything because it's going to end up swirled anyway. But, excuse me, because I like horror and sci-fi. And I did enjoy most of these movies. Actually, all of them. Yeah. Actually, all of these movies I did enjoy. And just the aesthetic of it. Like, just even looking at it now, even after, you know, swiping everything, rolling everything around, you can still see what it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? And so to me, it is unique to my collection in the sense of what it looks like. But for this one and this one to both look gray on my lid, for these two to look similar on the lid, and even swirling the brush and making sure I'm getting down here along with up here, it still turns out like a bluish gray. So I got like a bluish gray, a lighter gray, a lighter gray. So I'm like, can we not do that? And I know also it's because I'm putting on 3 or 4 shades on the lid. So how about we do a look and not put this one next to that one, troll. You know what I'm saying? So it's been a learning process. I've only done 2 looks with this palette, 2 looks with Some Kind of Haunted, and 2 looks with Bog Witch. And so it is still a learning process for me to, number one, remember what the shades look like and not put them next to each other. And there are slight differences. This does look a little bit different than that, but if you put them next to each other, which is what I did, they both just look gray. They blended into the same gray tone. These two blended into like the same tone. And so I wonder also if, excuse me for smacking, as I use the shadows, as I work through them and I'm really getting down in there into the shadows, will the color change a little bit? You know what I'm saying? Will it just stay the same? I do think this and this one is forever just going to be great, but I'm hoping this will turn a little darker, maybe even just like a hint of black somewhere. But shadows that are going to stay the same, that I know it's going to be this one, and this one. And this one is going to stay the same as well. This one turns out like a nice deep black. This is beautiful. And so this, I'm excited to see what happens over time as I keep using it, even though I'm less excited about using this one. Looking at it, it's like, whoa. But then it's like, okay, there's like 4 different grayish tones in here. So then I'm like, put it on, and then it's like, you know what I'm saying? So I feel kind of let down. But then again, part of it is me because I put 3, 4 shades on the lid instead of just 2 like normal people. And then an outer corner shade. But I'm not normal, I'm a troll. Remember that, I'm a troll, I'm different. But, and so I am excited to keep using it just to see what's going to happen over time and how the shadows are going to look over time. So that's my excitement with the Poltergeist. Is it forever just going to be what they are right now? Or is it going to change as time goes on, as I use them and start digging deeper down into these shadows? Like, is this going to turn a little more pinky as I wear down? Let me stop this from moving. As this wears down, is it going to turn more pinky from that red? You know what I'm saying? Is this going to turn more black because of the pronounced black for the outline? You see what I'm saying? Is this going to turn more deeper blue from the blue, the yellow, and the red? You see what I'm saying? And so my excitement with this one is, what is it going to look like when I'm 6 or 7 looks in? I'm only 2 looks in. Some kind of haunted. This shade every single friggin' time, and my cloth be looking crazy because I just put it on top of the cloth and just wipe it, and so my cloth is looking crazy. But I really just want this not to be in here. Like, seriously. I am excited to use this one. It is more straightforward. Even though it does show some of them have the shifts, I'm going to need to just put 1 or 2 on the lid to really see what happens. And so I'm excited to see what happens, even though this is more straightforward than the previous palette. This one is good for deepening for me. This is a good deepening. It's bold though. And so for me, and I am okay with doing all shimmer looks. I'm also okay with doing all metallic looks. But when I look at this, the only mattes in here, excuse me, is this one. And that's it. This looks to be a satin. And this is a matte as well, but this is an original to the palette. And so if you're looking at this palette or considering this palette, just know it's going to be all shimmers. This one that I took out was a matte, and so was that one. But they were so soft, they just crumbled. I do, excuse me for smacking, I do really believe there was a lack of a binding ingredient or binding ingredients, because they do hand press their palettes. Hand press. Okay, hand press. They do. I'm sleepy. They do hand press their palettes, and so I'm thinking there was just, you know, something missing to help them hold together more. And so I didn't contact them or anything because I do know they're hand pressed. Everything else worked fine, and so that's not an issue. And yeah, but Bog Witch, you see how I just was. And Booty Crack Mothman, I'm not going to keep saying that because you're not going to take me away from my beans and booty. You not. This, oh my gosh, like I even feel just like this is still my number one. I only have 4 Notoriously Morbid palettes. This is my number one. And because it excites me the way it does, and there's a lot of variety with this palette. Bog Witch is number 2 because it excites me, gives me my swamp water, but it's going to be a green look, unless I just put like this all over the lid, and then maybe that one, and maybe like transition, something simple. Use this for lash line, something simple. But this is a green palette, so this is my number 2. It really excites me, but it's going to be most likely a green look. Whereas with Mothman, I don't know what it's going to look like. And you have so many different. Look at these shifts in here, y'all. I'm just like, what? So this is my number 1. Bog Witch would be my number 2. Some kind of haunted, and look, it came back again. Some kind of haunted would be my number 3. This is going to sound contradictory. This is my number 3 because it is more straightforward as far as what the shadows will look like. And I'm saying that sounds contradictory because I was just saying how with Mothman, I don't know what the hell the look is going to look like because they're all dual chrome and multi-chromes. But because these are the 2 that's left, which one am I more like, ooh? So this one I'm a little more, ooh, because I can look at it and be like, okay, this is what we're doing. So there's, you know what it is? It's a feeling of comfort. That's what it is. Mothman, excited. I don't know what it's going to look like, but it's going to be bomb. Bog Witch, we going swamp, baby, all the way 100% Troll Town. That's where we going. This one, it's comfortable because I know what I'm going to get depending on where I put the shadows. And so that's what I like about this one. Poltergeist, my only excitement is 6 or 7 looks in. Is this still going to look the same? Is that still going to look the same? Is this still going to look the same? Is this still going to look the same? The same meaning as they did in the first 2 looks I did. And so I do like them all. I love Mothman. I love Bog Witch. I'm excited about the comfort and ease of using some kind of haunted, as long as I don't press too hard with a brush. And I'm excited to see over time what the shadows will look like in the Poltergeist. Also, I already said it. The packaging is like, but the shadows, though. You know what I mean? Give me the good shadows. Like, I will take this any day with this on the inside. For real. For real. And these were not cheap. They weren't actually, here it is right here. Oh, no, it's not. That's another paper. I thought I had a paper with prices here, and I did, but then I threw it away. But these are not cheap. Notoriously Morbid is not cheap. Takes about a month, you know, to receive them. I do use Katie's code. Her channel is Makeup for Lost Time, number 4. Makeup number 4, Lost, LOSSED. Is it just Makeup for Lost? Yeah, her channel is Makeup for Lost Time. And I believe her code is Lost, LOSSED 15. You get 15% off. I did put in for a code. I'm waiting to hear back, and I hope I get it. Because I do really feel like I'm going to buy more from the brand. Whether it's something else like Mothman or... yeah. So those are my thoughts on Mothman, Bog Witch, the Poltergeist, and Some Kind of Haunted. Let me know how you feel about what I said. Like, do you agree with my assessment and agree with, you know, why I feel the way I do about these palettes? And even if you don't have them, like, just looking at them, that red is friggin'... I don't like that red. I just noticed these has holes too, and I didn't just notice that. I noticed it when I did the live and this swatches, but these are not magnetic though, even though there's holes, and I can feel the holes for the other ones as well. But let me go. I'm starting to babble. But that red annoys the hell out of me. That would be the one thing. And there it is again. I keep wiping it off. There's again. That I hate this. I hate this. I hate how flaky that is. But again, it's not all through the palette. But anyway, let me know, even if you don't have these, based on what they look like. I realize I do this in videos when I'm tired. I put my hands on my head. I can put you back up here. Yeah, I notice that I do that when I'm tired. I just kind of be like... So even if you don't have these palettes, let me know by looking at them, by hearing what I'm saying, like if it makes sense. Or are you like, or are you tripping? You know, some kind of haunted Europe, some kind of haunted... I'm thinking of Haunted Europe from Nomad. Some kind of haunted and it is a beautiful palette. It is beautiful. It's goth. It's a goth color story. You can get messy grunge, not the same kind of messy grunge you're going to get from Swamp Water, but a different type of grunge. And Poltergeist is also like a goth palette, and I haven't got grunge from it yet, but y'all know I'm gonna work on it. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know if this was helpful to you. Let me know if you are trying to get beans and booty, or as someone said, the Booty Crack Mothman palette. This is a fun palette, y'all. The first few looks, I have a Notoriously Morbid playlist. I'll list that below. My first few looks with this, I use this by itself. Like, if you're okay with all shimmer looks, go for it. Just go for it. And if you don't, then you got the 2 mattes here. But honestly, I don't use those. But I'm just going to top them with something else in here. And then I started pairing it with other palettes. This look is Mothman and Some Kind of Haunted. That's what this look is. Probably thought it was Bog, which didn't you? It's not. It's really not, no. But, oh, and I did pair this, I think, with... Trio Chrome palette from Natasha Denona. Some of the shades from in there. So, but I'm going to go, y'all, because I feel like I'm going to start repeating myself, because I could talk about these two, like, for another 30 minutes, and I thought this was going to be, like, 20 minutes, but we're almost at 30. So, thank you. Let me know your thoughts. That's going to be it for this video, and you will see me next time. As always, self-acceptance, self-love, that is the Crazy Troll Nation way. Thank you, and you will see me soon. I just want to say, looking at the screenshot, I'm like, why the heck is my nose so red? Because I've been blowing my nose. I didn't notice it before the video. Would I have tried to fix it? Probably not, because I'm a troll. But anyway, I just wanted to let y'all know that I know that my nose is red, and in the screenshot, it's probably like, why is her nose red? But that's why my nose is red. You'll see me next time. Thanks.